A high school girl named Hitomi gets kidnapped by several men intending to force themselves on her. Meanwhile, driving the van is the MC. Yes, I repeat, the MC Yuya, who is a college student. And no, he is not a sex offender nor an Adam 22 fan. He's just a loser at this point. That said, before he can save the chick, Hitomi pops from the back after he stops the van to tell him to keep driving as they are running late. Curious, the main man looks behind him only to find out that the damsel in distress has easily killed her attackers. Later, when Hitomi arrives at her location, our boy storms out of the van and runs away, while the girl phones someone who tells her to make use of him, which comes as a shocker to Hitomi since she perceives our little princess as a useless piece of trash. That said, Yuya is a smart cookie. He realized that being anywhere near this girl was quite dangerous, so he made a run for the hills. Yet at the same time, he lacked Solomon's wisdom, for he tried to seek help from a random dude who was chilling alone in a scrapyard during the Devil's Hour. Right before Yuya is about to be deleted from the series, the main girl swoops in to save him from the lion boy who has dubbed himself as the King of Beasts. A title our girl is here to test and possibly claim for herself. Yep, turns out the yard was an arena for a fight between Hitomi and the lion hybrid. Also, she didn't save Yuya out of the goodness of her heart, but she did it because the guy on the phone told her she needed to wager Yuya's organs as a prize, due to the betting odds being heavily against her. How much we talking? A cool 100-0, but Yuya's existence would make it 99-1, making the contest would be eligible. And just like that, the fight starts with Hitomi trying to trash-talk the quote-unquote King of Kings, so the lad decides to stand on business and bitch slaps her. Don't laugh. Not yet, at least. You see, although the lion boy is manhandling the chick, he sends a roar that paralyzes the enemy, as all animals' primal instincts upon hearing the roar is to tremble in fear, but not Hitomi, who bites the lion's fingers off and reveals that she is a hybrid of a honey badger, the most fearless animal in the world. But don't take our word for it. When the video ends, search honey badgers don't care, and you will be amazed. Anyways, back to the video. After easily defeating her opponent, much to the amazement of all the people who bet on her downfall, and the joy of one old pervy man, we find ourselves in a confused Yuya's apartment. The lad has just woken up thinking it was all a dream, but then he got a handful of that honey badger's breasticle, making him recall the events leading him to take Hitomi back to his place to treat her injuries and rest as a thank for saving him. Now, to be fair, he didn't need to do that, as she was the one who put him in that situation. Yet at the same time, he was riding with those guys who were about to commit a felony. So I would say they are even. But who am I to talk about the immorality of a furry anime? I'm just a YouTuber living one view at a time. Please, like and subscribe. Later that day, after Yuya had taken Hitomi to a restaurant where she gets to act all kawaii after her murderous spree, an old man approaches them, and Hitomi starts fingerling over him. We learn that the middle-aged man is Hitomi's guardian Shido. Shido cuts to the chase and docks Yuya to assert dominance. He then explains to the clueless lad that he works in the demi-human manufacturing business. In fact, Old Man Shido here is one, if not the top researcher in that field. Furthermore, Shido explains that there are 4 major companies called the Zaibatsu conglomerates that sponsor underground death matches in Japan between the genetically engineered hybrids, i.e., the therianthropes, or as we call them, super furries. They combine the intelligence of humans with the power of animals to attract wealthy investors and gain political and economic influence, just like how IRL perceive themselves. And here comes the part where it's the main man's problem. Due to Hitomi betting on Yuya's organs, Yuya is technically the only investor she has, allowing her to take part in matches. Therefore, Hitomi is ordered to protect Yuya, who is given Hitomi's prize money, 100 million, to bet on future fights. Later, while getting some snacks for his monster girl, Yuya gets attacked by another hybrid. Well, at first she flashes the poor bastard to lure him in before piercing his leg, as he was about to take a good look at Dem Tatas. When asked about what she wants, the crazy naked girl tells him, "Info. I want info about Hitomi." Luckily for Yuya, the girl behind his problems arrives to save him from turning into a shish kebab. The hybrid reveals herself as Ryoko, a porcupine hybrid from the Yatsubishi Zaibatsu, who uses metallic quills as stabbing weapons. She had intended to kill Yuya so Hitomi would have no investor for future matches. But since the girl of the hour is here right now, standing in public with no pants as the last time we left her, the porcupine girl decides to kill her instead. Ryoko goes on the offense and uses multiple attacks like head-on melee attacks to range attacks from both land and air, ending the one-sided battle ever so swiftly, or so we thought. As Ryoko is about to finish the soy boy, Hitomi stands back up as if nothing happened. It is revealed that Hitomi's honey badger skin is too tough to pierce, even with metal weapons. Stunned, the new girl makes one last desperate jump at the main girl, but gets put back in her place. Then Hitomi decides to finish her but gets stopped by Yuya, who is against killing her. As Ryoko refuses to go out without a bang and prepares for her final attack at MC, another contender enters the scene, i.e., she gets knocked out by a hippopotamus hybrid named Ichinosuke. Although at first he makes it look like they are about to fight, the big man makes a 180 switch and gets down on all four, asking Hitomi to join the Ishida Zaibatsu. Back in Yuya's apartment, Hitomi, going on her animalistic behavior, refuses the big lad's offer, and the more they try to pursue her, the more angrily she refuses. She even makes a stand ready to get down and dirty, till she receives a message from Shido changing her mood and making her agree to fight her next death match as a representative of the Ishida. The next day, Hitomi wakes our boy to an unfamiliar view. White cotton. But we can't show it here, so use your imagination, boys. Hitomi informs him that she's going to be attending university classes with Yuya. There she meets one of Yuya's friends. Now, we rather not talk about what he is like, but show you. Yup, the guy is literally a combination of every stereotype out there about otakus. The next scene was inside the girls' bathroom. While responding to nature's call, Hitomi meets Iruza Nakanishi, a cheetah hybrid also from the Yatsubishi. She enrages Hitomi by stealing her underwear and goading her into a fight. Sadly, this catfight gets interrupted by a representative of Mitsukado Zaibatsu and his bear friend. Quick disclaimer, be ready for a cringy bear bun coming your way. The guy informs them that Hitomi is now officially representing Ishida in the next death match, so they are forbidden from fighting beforehand. That said, the badger girl couldn't bear to hear his yapping anymore, so she attacked the four-eyed boy, who turned out to be quick on his feet. After defusing the situation, an unknown observer of the fight reveals that all four Zaibatsu are targeting Hitomi, and they will most likely strike during the upcoming death match. To hide their hybrid identities, Hitomi and Iruza end up wearing cosplay while students from the photography club photograph them. It was a quite genius idea given by the otaku friend, which Iruza seconded despite Hitomi's dislike. That said, the latter did enjoy posing for the masses as much as they enjoyed taking dem pics. After finishing, the trio leaves, and the girls decide to split and head to a cafe to have some time together, as if they didn't try to kill each other like 5 minutes ago. Yuya returns home late and finds Leo the lion hybrid alive. Not gonna lie, Yuya does strike me as a brain-damaged individual. It's one thing to be doxxed by a random person in League chat on the other side of the world, but it's completely another story to be doxxed by a company of killers. Like, at some point one decides to change address. Hell, even change the door locks because the current ones are clearly not locking anyone outside, except his pride, of course. A girl named Yoko Mitsukado, the granddaughter of the Mitsukado Zaibatsu's president, reveals that Hitomi's guardian, Shido, is using the matches to test his hybrid research. That's why Yuya had to participate in the match as Hitomi's strategist. Yet, hearing how he's being manipulated doesn't change his mind, as he would like to leave that decision to the random chick he picked in the van. Yoko leaves his shitty apartment mad when he doesn't withdraw, having hoped his cowardice would make him say, "Yo, people die? For real, for real? Nah, I'm out." Instead, she decides to take part in the match to ensure Hitomi's death. That said, there is still one obstacle in front of Team Misfits, and that obstacle would be to find a third member, since the match requires 3 team members. Thus, Ichinosuke attempts to recruit other hybrids, but the only one available is Yui, a rabbit hybrid who has never won a match, yet to her credit she is cute as hell, and that trumps everything in my book. Alas, much like the main man, Yui lacks courage. No matter how much the hippo man begs, or the badger girl scares her and then flirts with her, they cannot convince her to join a death match. Therefore, Hitomi sent Loverboy to talk with the cutie pie after she had left, but as he was breaking the ice they got attacked by Akemi, a horned lizard hybrid who was preventing other hybrids from joining the Ishida, aka the Misfit team. Yui is almost shot by the blood bullets from Akemi's eyes, and although she is fast as Frick Boy, the bunny girl gets cornered in an alley. Luckily, she gets saved by Hitomi, and by using her sensitive hearing, Yui deduces that Akemi has a twin sister shooting from another location, allowing the main chick to defeat them. Since fighting before the match is forbidden, Hitomi blackmails the sisters into claiming they were defeated by Yui. Consequently, Yui gets excited by her first ever victory, and gaslights herself into believing she defeated the assassins with her wit and might, and so joins their team. Before the start of the matches, the Misfits are invited to a fancy dinner with the other participants. There they get approached by Leo, who is looking dashing as ever and condescending as usual, but Hitomi puts him down a peg when she claims she doesn't remember that Leo guy. The interaction is cut short by Nakanishi Taiga, a tiger hybrid fighting for the Yatsubishi. Long story short, the guy is disappointed he won't be fighting his rival Leo at the tournament, as the latter withdrew claiming his arm hasn't healed yet, which as we can see is a bit questionable. Meanwhile, Iruza decides she wants to kill Hitomi because she has fallen in love with her. Question mark? Don't ask. Girls are weird. Shido is announced as the director of the match on Hotei Island in the Philippine Sea. After the announcement, the big man checks on his bunny buddy, but he finds her nowhere. Yui is currently on the verge of being inducted into the #MeToo movement. Thank God Hitomi arrived just in time to stop this show from going balls to the wall only 4 episodes in. Back to track. The hybrids are forced to follow instructions from their investors who move them around the map like pieces on a chessboard. Yuya is initially treated with contempt by his investor opponents, who know he has no idea how to play the game, but they are forced to take him seriously when he makes an expert move, which is revealed Hitomi has been sending him hand signals via the CCTV